Now, please don't say anything fucked up within the next 5 seconds. Please don't do it.
That's so hard. Give me a bit easier challenge.
No.
I'm just screwing with you.
Fuck, man.
I'm just screwing
Cannot
with you.
have nice things.
All right, still tagging people, so.
I might be one of the first comments. Let me see. Let me see how I get there. Since it's not the live stream.
Did not just do that.
Wait, are we? I'm checking stream health. Okay, we're actually on the screen now.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Cool. All right. I'll give intro. What's going on, dear viewers? This is your gracious host, Kaine Walker, with episode 11 of the Monkey Paw, where we document the downfall of mainstream Western entertainment. Say hello to the co-hosts. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good.
I'm doing all right. It seems
How
like
about you,
I
Wes?
got out. I seem to have been algorithmically unsubscribed from the channel here for some reason because I can't comment on the live chat. So I resub. Now I gotta wait 24 hours. Oh god, it pisses me off.
Wow. Yeah, that's weird. So I did set it to 24 hours, but I didn't expect that to affect somebody who was already subscribed. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, that's so inconvenient.
It's whatever. I mean, I was gonna comment
That's messed up.
a terrible anime trope anyway.
Damn.
You know.
Oh, what's up, Jaden Walker? What's good? What's good?
Hey, I know that guy.
Go ahead. What were you about to say?
I was gonna stay and just type incest is not wincest unless you want to be a welfare leech. You know, something edgy like that. I was just gonna type that in just for the heat.
Wow.
What's messed up about what's bad about it is it's what's really screwed up. That's technically true.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into the topics now, bro.
never.
God.
Yeah,
So we got.
Especially when you got a kid that's got born with like a half head, missing a fourth of a face.
Let's go.
Let's
Just start
go.
the topics.
Bro, I got it.
Let's get
Can
the
we
show on the roll.
So as usual, we got 3 topics lined up for you guys and 1 rant that I hope I have time for, because it's dealing with some things that have been going on for a while, dealing with Comicsgate. And I don't know, I just kind of got tired of seeing certain arguments. It was really just 2 things, honestly. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Most of the news that we're going to be covering this week has to do with gaming. We do have other topics lined up, and I'm sorry that we got behind because last week we had some technical difficulties preventing us from actually airing last week, and I'm still kind of salty about it. I'm not gonna lie, because like we have so many topics that we haven't covered that we could have that same week. But either way, we're here now, and we're gonna open up.
Yeah, let's open up, man. I was gonna say, yeah, and my voice wasn't quite as back as it is now, but I still got a ways to go. But I was kind of sounding somewhere between now and, kind of like this, somewhere in between. So. Plus, I was coughing a hell of a lot more often because of the congestion. I'm still trying to get out of my lungs. Because I swear my alveoli and bronchioles are a web of pussies, I swear. Let's get into the topics.
My God. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Jaden, we're doing pretty good. We just went through Wes's predicament with his sore throat and the sickness he's been fighting. But anyway, enough digression.
It's not even sore throat. It's just real bad congestion. Because I'll tell about it in this video I've got coming soon anyway.
Yeah. I do want to know one thing though. Can you guys see the article? Not you guys. You guys can see it in the back. So chat, can you guys see the article well enough? Like, is it too small? Is the writing too big? I kind of need to know so that whenever I'm actually presenting this to y'all.
Yeah, to let
I'm
you
looking
know
at it, the chat perspective. Yeah. I mean, I could see it from on the YouTube end. So, but Jaden, Rudy, do you guys see it?
Hey, D-Live.
Yeah, what's up, D-Live?
Let's go.
D-Live, can you see the article?
I just want to make sure y'all can follow along before I actually start reading.
Not seeing any no's, so I guess we're good to go.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I was about to say, all right, better idea. I'm just gonna start reading, and if at any point y'all can't see it, y'all just say it in chat. So, we're gonna start with some Capcom DRM, which is fucking pathetic, bro. Any gaming company that prevents its player base from freely expressing themselves within the product, like, I get that you created the product, right? But once I fucking pay for it, it's mine, right? Because I took it home. Like, you've gotten everything you wanted out of the transaction. So can I get my hours of playtime in exchange and be able to do whatever the fuck I want with it? But anyway, it says, in escalation of anti-modding crusade, Capcom now adding Enigma DRM to PC catalog. Buckle up, players. The fight over your consumer rights is about to heat up. Yeah, bro. I don't think this is the first time they've done it.
Hey, Rudy.
You said you want it to be a little larger? Fuck.
Yeah, I was about to tell you, he wants you to size it up a little bit.
All right, that's 10%. That's 25%.
Is it looking any different on your end, Rudy?
I think, you know what's crazy? I put this on ultra low latency.
It says I can, but it could be a little
probably
bigger.
Going to come in delayed. Yeah, I just sized it up to 25%. We have to wait for it to catch up. This is stupid. I know I put this on ultra low latency. But anyway, it says, buckle up, players. The fight over your consumer rights is about to heat up. Just months after declaring war on the entire concept of video game modding, I knew it. I knew this wasn't the first time. Capcom has been found to be undertaking a concerted effort to add a new form of digital rights management software to their back catalog of PC titles. Even Resident Evil 4? Yo, wait, this is Revelations, but still, this is stupid.
This is what I call it digital RAPE manifestory. That's what I call DRM.
Oh my god. They're retconning their games essentially. Oh my god. Related. Capcom takes aim. Go ahead.
Of course they do, because they like to half-ass retcon everything in the middle of fucking making it, and when it's so late in the storyline. God. It's not bad
It's a
writing.
different type of retconning, but I still sympathize.
Like,
How's it that they screw them?
Check this out, though.
They could screw themselves over such easy money.
Well, it's not really.
I don't know.
I think it's about supporting a fucking peddling a certain agenda, and they get kickbacks from certain buddies. You know, the ones that they peddle the agendas for. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I have no idea. My bad. I was about to say, I have no idea what the fuck is going on with Capcom. and their sudden interest in ESG. Like, look at this other article. It says Capcom takes aim at PC modding, says developers should be concerned over mods that are offensive to public order and morals. Like, who died and made a game company a fucking moral authority? Like, you make mature games. What are you talking about? I literally slaughter hordes of people in your video games. What do you mean order and morals? Like,
Right.
you made a fucking game. Not that I'm a virtue signaler, but you made a game where you kill African zombies, bro. Like, you can't do this. You can't do that in virtue signaler.
Part 5 or 4?
I'm gonna.
Are you talking part 5 or 4?
It's part
Resident Evil
4,
5.
I think. Resident
5.
Evil 5. Oh shit.
No, he's talking about part 5 because 4 is Spaniards.
Dude.
Yeah, 4 Spaniards.
I'm not gonna virtue
But Spaniards,
signal,
no one cares about Spaniards. It's only racist if it's black people.
or if it's Jews or
Go
if
ahead.
it's whites. You ever notice that whole racism shit? It's either black, Jew, or white. Nobody else gets mentioned. Hispanic, who gives a shit? If it's Native Americans, who cares? If it's Asians being bigoted against by either of the three, no one's gonna pay attention to it. You ever notice how fucked off that is? What the hell?
The rich farmer.
Yeah, I remember the controversy with Resident Evil 5. Oh, God. I also remember that controversy with Resident Evil 5 where they were like, it's racist because you're killing black zombies, even though the majority of the population in Africa is black. So, like, what do you want them to do? Yeah, they are. Also, they're zombies. Like, what's the correct answer?
What the hell
die?
are you gonna do? Like,
I don't want to be racist. I don't want to be racist, so I'll get eaten alive by a zombie. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, just get out of here with that bullshit. Yeah, this is more than, you know what really irks the hell out of me?
Y'all have any? I'll make it quick because I do want to continue. But go ahead.
Yeah, this is the price we pay for democratizing property rights through the government and calling it a corporation. This is what we get. Yeah, I said
You're not wrong.
I said it. Corporations are socialist. Bite me. Fight me, bitches.
You're not wrong.
Not wrong, yeah.
Anyways, go ahead and continue.
I'm not gonna argue with that, bro. Yeah, it says
Well,
this
y'all
attempt
won't,
by the
but I know
Street Fighter
some are
series
gonna-
developer to
Sorry, go ahead.
it says this attempt by the
Fuck.
I think you might have a delay or something.
It probably there might be. I don't know, but I was saying, I know you ain't gonna argue, but someone out there in the audience might, or out there in the internet, some will try. Good luck with that. Sorry. Go ahead.
They might. No, you're good. It says this attempt by the Street Fighter series developer to restrict the way in which customers can interact with their purchased products was first brought to public attention by way of a surprise January 5th update made to Steam copies of 2013's Resident Evil Revelations. So it was a stealth patch. Yo, that's fucked. Perplexed as to why the 11-year-old title had suddenly received this unannounced patch, users soon took to parsing its contents for any information as to its reason for being. Oh, there's some screenshots of the Steam messages. There are additional anti-bugger, anti-temper measures in this EXE that wasn't present prior to the update. Likely it's an oversight. How is that an oversight? The game's 13 years old, right? Why would that be there now? Like, nah, that was a stealth patch. Soon thereafter, as documented on the game's official Steam community forum, players discovered that while it did provide a fix for a previous functionality issue regarding Revelations, Jill's Samurai Edge Weapon DLC, this minor quality of life update was little more than a Trojan horse for the Enigma Protector, described by its website as a tool with which companies can use to protect their program-run files from illegal copying, hacking, modification, and analysis to be added to the game. Making matters worse for Capcom was the fact that, like many such shadow installations of DRM software, more than just clamping down on consumer rights, the introduction of Enigma into Revelation's inner workings also produced stability issues. produced stability issues within the game itself, including frame rate drops, random crashes, and broken graphical options. See, the idea, because Capcom's not the first company to do some shit like this, right? We had the same thing happen with Lab Zero recently. Like, the idea that I can fucking buy a game at the time and be presented a product I want, right? Like, I bought it because of what the fuck was there prior. And then years later, someone can take things away or add fucking restrictions that I didn't want prior. And I don't mean like balance patches that get rid of like crazy glitches that make you able to break the game. No, I'm talking about things that allow me to enhance my gameplay experience through things like modding. Or it takes away content I wanted in the game, right? Because it's too offensive. Like, the idea that that's a thing that can happen pisses me off. Like, shit like this needs to be addressed. Like, every time it comes up, I'm definitely going to talk about it because this shit's ridiculous. Save your money.
Right.
Like, seriously.
What they're doing now is essentially making you a landlording their IP out. Like, this is another reason why I think we need to abolish IP as we know it and just go to some other kind of intellectual protection contract system and have a market for such alternatives. That's what I think needs to happen now because it's just cancerous. And it ain't going to stop.
What I'm wondering Oh, sorry, you go.
Damn. I'm sorry, I was also playing DK64. Damn it! God damn. Fuck me.
What were you saying about the contracts?
I would say make intellectual protection contracts and stuff like that. Fuck! And, try to make that, like that as a decent alternative to intellectual property because technically intellectual property as a concept is a bit oxymoronic. That way you could justify proprietary releasing of your IP, your intellectual media, your stories and stuff, and your gameplay material. Oh my god, this game! I swear,
the thing.
Anyways,
huh?
Wait, I was gonna say my thing.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Hang on. I was gonna say. My thing with Capcom right now is, who are they hiring? Because it had to be like a new hire that somehow got into this position.
Who knows?
Start messing with the modding because this, it doesn't make sense on how they just suddenly started pulling not suddenly, but like just over time started, adding all these restrictions, started taking stuff away from the players when. Capcom was supposed to be like the cool company that gave you all of this mega content that you could ask for. Like
they were
so
an
much
arcade
in your face, like
giant, dude.
Yeah.
Capcom was an arcade staple, bro. Like they were at the top of it, and now they're essentially cucked, man. Like they're
cucking out to that narrative.
It's ridiculous, man. Like.
And they got power now because all the IP law increases. Thanks, Disney. Fuck you up the ass. Fuck you very much for helping with that.
This reminds me of, guys. I just thought of this example that people were talking about recently. That supposed Witcher 1 remake that they're supposed to be working on at Project Red.
That I'm not buying.
And like,
I'm not buying. Go ahead.
Yeah, because it's like the same thing going on over there. Apparently, the same thing like with the like they're removing certain things for sensitivity reasons or whatever. No, BS excuses like that. I'm keeping my language a bit PG because I'm in a public place
this
and
is
there's
where
kids around. So.
This is where gaming is headed, bro. Let me continue with the article because there's gonna be more avenues for us to continue the discussion of where gaming is headed as we continue throughout the articles, right? Especially the last one before I get into addressing the comics gay shit. But anyway, where was I? Oh, I left off at graphical options. Oh shit. Yeah, this is a comment from somebody on Steam saying, what the fuck, ultra wide resolutions, stereoscopic 3D and FOV adjustment are all broken now. With the latest update, the game is utterly unplayable. I would not have bought this game if I knew it wasn't going to work on my monitors. Will we be offered a refund outside of the 14-day and 2 hours of playtime window? Valve really needs to address situations like these where the developers break their games this badly well after we already bought them. Yeah, exactly. Related, Capcom declares that simply translating games developed under Japanese norms can end up hurting users. We gotta cover that, bro. God damn it. This is God damn it. This localization shit is spreading. It's spreading, dude.
Yeah, well.
Oh my God. Let me just go ahead and copy that.
Yeah,
just go ahead and copy it, bro. Let me just
copy, bookmark it, do whatever to save it for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised.
So like,
when you got this kind of power, when you have this kind of power as a whole, and you market corner like this, like everyone does now, we got all the goblins all over the place, and now they have the power. They can get kickbacks from the feds and other buddies that they're buddy with to play their plutocracy game and still peddle these kind of narratives like the woke shit, critical consciousness theory, basically, and all this other stuff. That all this stuff comes from.
It's definitely propped up by the state. You're absolutely right.
No,
we're definitely we're gonna get into that too. Yeah, go ahead.
It's just so it's beyond cut. It's vergacht.
Yeah.
All right. Were you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Go on.
Yeah, it says, faced with significant and understandable backlash to their deception, Capcom eventually reversed course on their decision, announcing on January 9th that due to an issue observed with the latest update released, we have reverted the corresponding update. We apologize for the inconvenience caused, and once the issue is resolved, we will re-release the update, they added. Thank you very much for your patience and cooperation. Sickening. So here we have more screenshots, small update / patch notes regarding the update. Excuse me. Says, due to an issue observed with the latest update released, we have reverted the corresponding. Oh, never mind. That's the same thing I just fucking read. Why do they do this?
Yeah, you gotta.
However, yeah. However, no, I was reading that screenshot. The screenshot was just the same thing I read in the actual article, but it says, however, though Revelations managed to wrestle a temporary stay of death by Enigma from the hands of Capcom, it was soon discovered that it was far from the first of the developer's Steam titles to have received this treatment since initially being released to the digital retail platform, as evidenced by user reports and the direct notation in each game's respective patch notes of recent modifications made to their executable files, affected releases, all of which have yet to have DRM removed, include, that was a long sentence, my bad, Capcom Arcade Stadium, Capcom Arcade Second Stadium, both volumes of the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, the Mega Man 0/ZX Legacy Collection, Resident Evil 5, Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, and Strider 2014. Oh boy. Notably, this development continues just a little under 6 months after Capcom publicly revealed their disdain for the practice of modding. I am so sick that I missed that announcement because I definitely would have covered it. What the fuck, dude? Dragon's Dogma 2 is gonna die then. It's gonna die then. Like, people wanted to get that game to mod it, right? Like, what are they doing?
Right.
The modding community is the reason why Skyrim and Fallout New Vegas continues to sell copies to this day. What are they doing? Like,
I mean, sorry, but yeah, it's still true. And the stuff, and the mod community added stuff in that that the devs of the game wanted to add but couldn't in certain cases, like with Dawn Guard. For instance, it would have expanded on the story a bit more, like they wanted. You know,
Bro, the modding community loved Fallout New Vegas. My bad. The modding community loved Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 so much that they made a mod to fuse both games together. And you can play them like at the same time. You can cross over from the it's called Tale of Two Wastelands. You can cross over from New Vegas to whatever the wasteland in Fallout 3 is. I think it was Washington. I don't remember. Bro, it creates longevity. It gives people who haven't played the game yet a reason to actually buy it. Like I don't know how they don't see this.
I probably do. They just probably want to like do that fucking, subversive signaling shit, Call it grifting because it's
here.
All
it says speaking. Pretty much. It says, speaking on the topic during the developer's October 2023 Capcom Open Conference, Professional RE 2023, company programmer Taro Yahagi, I'm sorry, Japanese, revealed that as far as his employer was concerned, all mods are defined as cheats, except when they are officially supported. Oh my God, that's some 1984 shit. And thus, what modders are doing internally is no different than cheating. Oh my God.
That's some peak copium shit right there.
They're not hacking.
My costume is cheating. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Elaborating.
I have to start shutting down GTA next with this.
Dude, I never thought this would fucking happen, but I might actually quit video games if this is where we're headed, bro. I might actually quit video games. I never thought I'd see the fucking day. I never thought I'd see it, dude. If this is where the future is taking us, I might quit video games, or at the very least, only play indie shit. Holy shit, dude! This is
I'll play indie
triple
stuff and
A
I'll
gaming.
What I can. Like I'm open, like this is another thing why, Unique Namosaurus talked about pirating. It's a form of civil disobedience and protest. And saying, hey, this is a line we're drawing, and we ain't gonna agree with your line. You can either stop this or get fucked. And that's a great strategy to do it. Because it hits them where it hurts, It's non-compliance. But it lines your wallets more.
They'll definitely hear that for sure.
I'm not going to, for legal reasons, I won't
You got to vote with your wallet.
Yeah, for legal reasons, I won't advocate piracy. Obviously, just disclosure there. But if you're going to do something that'll get you immediate results, you could protest by pirating what you like and helping those pirate, and then fucking support indie developers.
In Minecraft, Mr. FBI agent.
Oh, they already shaved.
For the love of God, in Minecraft.
No, it's in Roblox.
Yeah, but still,
it's in Roblox.
For legal reasons. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Elaborating on this declaration, Yagi explained, mods are popular with users because they allow them to add or change various features to an existing game. However, for the purposes of anti-cheat and anti-piracy, all mods are defined as cheats. This is to say, what do you mean? Fucking anti-piracy. The game's already purchased. What? All mods are defined as cheats. That is to say... That is to say that mods that are not officially supported by the game are impossible to distinguish from cheat tools implementation-wise. Go ahead, Wes. Get the fuck out of here, dude. They have a video?
Oh, no.
This is fucking, This is basically pretty much Orwellian, and it's trying to make you a landlord to their IPs. This is why I've become black pill.
I won't participate.
Neither will I. That's why I don't already.
Neither am I. Neither am I. Mm-mm.
What is this? Dude, I'm baffled, bro. I never thought I'd see this from Capcom, dude. Don't get me wrong, their quality in like fighting games has been going down, but I did not anticipate this shit. I didn't. But then again, I don't even know why I'm this surprised, because there were signs of it with the release of Street Fighter 6. There's ESG shit throughout that game. There's what's it called? I'll just say leftist ideology, even though it's inaccurate. You know what I'm talking about. Sprinkled throughout that fucking game. It's everywhere. There we go.
It's a little.
It's ridiculous.
Little sprinkles of agenda there.
But this shit is just. They've declared war on their consumer base. Another company has declared war on their consumer base again. Like, what the fuck? Oh shit! We don't even have to watch it. They have the timestamp for the quote in the video right here. It says, they said it's timestamped at 14:35. The majority of mods can have a positive. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It says the majority of mods can have a positive impact on the game, he told attendees. Nah, you're good. You're good. Some mods, however, can be detrimental to the company, both in terms of reputational damage and in terms of workload. Reputational damage? Okay, this stupid fucking excuse that either AI art that uses the same art style of a company or a mod that applies things to the characters from a company being damaging to their reputation is bullshit. It's a lie. It's just a shield. It's not damaging to your reputation because it's not official. And people know it's not official. Like, they tried to do that for, the AI. I don't even know the logic behind that one. I'm not even going to lie.
There is no logic.
I have no idea what the logic behind that one is.
There is no logic. They're literally just trying to gaslight and lie to your face and expect you to comply out of cognitive dissonance. That's what they're doing. That's literally what they're fucking doing. And then what's bad, yeah, exactly, 1984 of fucking gaming. That's what this is from Capcom. I would have expected Nintendo to do this first out of anybody. In all honesty.
Well, here's my thing. Why is it Japanese companies doing this? Like, what's up with Japan over there right now? Like, why are they letting this stuff in?
I think it's only some of them, but even still, like, it's still a kind of a mystery to me, because I know Japan as a whole does not care for this way of thinking. So I couldn't tell you why Capcom is adopting this shit. I have no idea. I'm actually fucking
willing to bet
in the dark on that. I want to do the research.
I bet you there's some critical theorists, quote unquote, game developers pushing this shit in there. God damn it! Well,
probably.
That's gonna be a bitch. Fucking, it's gonna be a pain in the ass getting that damn.
Oh, never mind. You're playing fucking Diddy Kong Racing.
He's just being a gamer right now.
Yeah,
which is very fit.
Yeah, I was like,
we're talking about.
Damn! Why didn't this hit? What the fuck? What the fuck, emulator? Yeah, I'm playing DK64.
Oh Lord.
It's a great game, but
you're good.
Fuck. The amount, like, you got almost 5,000 collectibles in the damn game. Many claim that's what RAPED, the fucking collectathon subgenre. I don't know if that's true, but it didn't help it.
Keep going.
The state of cheats and piracy in PC games. Should you target mods in your anti-cheat / anti-piracy programs? All mods are defined as cheats except when they are officially supported. Oh my god, dude. That shit does not get any better when I read it out loud. What they are doing internally is no different than cheating. Oh my god, dude.
That's what.
However, for the purposes of anti-cheat and basically, damn, this delay is killing us. However, for the purposes of anti-cheat and anti-piracy, all mods are defined as cheats. It says Tower Yahagi hosts the anti-cheat and anti-piracy measures in PC games recommendations for in-house production at Capcom's RE 2023 conference. Some malicious mods can also destroy the game by cheating, Yahagi added. In the worst case, they can cause freezes and corrupt save data, which is not your fucking problem. It is not your job to save us from ourselves. What your job is to prevent people from ruining the competitive experience through actual cheating, not fucking banning people for wanting to put a Strider costume on Guy in Street Fighter 4. Like, that's stupid.
Or add like titty jiggle
it's fucking ridiculous.
Shit on one of the better looking characters, for Christ's sake. Why?
Yeah, and they're about to go into the Armika butt slap here too, because there was a whole controversy about that. Before Armika did her super in Street Fighter 5, she would slap her butt, and obviously the camera would pan down to show her ass. And they censored that because reasons. Oh, I know why. Because of a bunch of motherfuckers who don't even play video games complaining about it. Like, it was ridiculous. People made a mod to get rid of that patch, and I think that was the beginning of them trying to regulate mods in their game.
Yeah, that's the
this shit is ridiculous. They
Finally,
want control of you from within your own home. Like, what is this shit?
After getting penis blasted a few times, I finally
at?
beat that boss. Those of you that are not in the Cosmic God server don't get the meme. Don't worry about it.
If you have a mod, you destroy. Where was I? I was on the.
Oh hey.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, hey,
if you have a mod that destroys your data and you. Oh, she's in here. Oh, what's up, Toast?
Yeah.
It says if you have a mod. God damn it! I'm sorry. It says if you have a mod that destroys your data and you contact our customer support, they will have a difficult time investigating the issue and will spend a lot of time working on it. As the customer support load increases, it will eventually circle back around and affect development costs. Who the fuck would call you for a mod issue? See, they don't even know how the mod community works. Like, you would literally have to speak from ignorance to
somebody is telling
guess
him to
this.
do this. Like, somebody's either telling him to do this or bribing him to do it. I'm willing to bet. I got 3 quarters on my
Hey,
desk.
Capcom. Hey, Capcom customer service. I installed a mod that corrupted my data. Can you please help me? Like, are you fucking serious? Like,
bruh.
Wow. All right.
They even have it.
Like, I just had to paint that scenario. Go ahead.
Why would they even have a?
I think they do, but it's for like
service in the first place. Like
product damage. It would be for like product damage, like for like actual discs that they might have bought from Cat. I can think of reasons why, but no one would call customer service for putting a mod in their game. Like, that's just inept. That's completely inept.
Hey, Capcom, I made it. My gooning mod corrupted my game. Now I can't play it anymore, and without my shorts. Can you help me? That would totally happen. Totally. Christ's sake. I could literally just. They might be like, I was thinking if it was a digital purchase. Like, the obvious solution is to uninstall what caused the problem. Like, the last thing you installed before the game broke, uninstall that or uninstall the game and reinstall. Like, what the? This is embarrassing, dude. Like
I don't even get it. Like, what the fuck?
How do you get it so wrong?
Development costs. I don't know. Let me continue. We got a little bit more left. Then we can rag on these comments a little bit more. It says, drawing his thoughts on the topic of mods to a close, the programmer ultimately concluded, if the development costs are affected, the quality of the game will decline. That ship has sailed, buddy. No mods required. That is a base game feature, my guy. This will lead to a drop in sales and a loss of revenue, as well as disappointment among users. This is not a situation anyone wants to be in. You corporate fucking robots, dude. In other words, anti-cheat and anti-piracy measures are very important to protect the company's future profits and reputation. God. What the fuck? Capcom begins cracking down on inappropriate and objectionable fan content. Oh my god. What is this world coming to, bro? Capcom can't win. They can't win right now.
How are we moving so forward?
I'm so mad. Dude, I was so excited to buy Dragon's Dogma 2 and I just read this. Oh my god, dude. I can't do this. Like, will I even be able to buy the game still knowing this? Like, I can't. I waited so long for that game, and now I don't even think I can buy it anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is ridiculous. Oh, go ahead. I gotta think for a second. Like, this is.
It's like how did we move so forward? Yet so backwards at the same time. Like the graphics and technology is like moving forward. We're gonna end up getting games with good graphics, but at the same time we're getting such awful quality right next to it. It's like with Spider-Man all over again.
Well,
I didn't play video games to follow the rules.
It was meant to be a market of content. That's all it was meant to be. Oh my god, I just got responded to on YouTube comments because I called a MD out for quacking in the public because he's not competent in the scientific method, and no surprise, he's a vegan MD. Anyhow,
wait, yeah. What were you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I was just commenting. I was just typing my response. If you didn't hear the keyboard tapping for a moment, yeah, I'll do that shit in a heartbeat. I think a lot of people regret their purchases.
I wanted to. Shit, I would. But it's kind of hard to regret your purchase years later after you've already bought something. That's the fucked up part about it. I wanted to read some of the comments just to see. I'm pretty sure I'm fairly certain people are fucking upset, but I just want to read it to feel out the general opinion of Capcom's retarded decisions. I just wanted to read them real quick.
Right.
But before I read those, let's see what comments people left in the actual chat.
I like it. At least they give us the convenience of leaving a nice pair of cheeks on the article.
Oh dear. Kaine Walker says, bruh, mods are the only reason why games like Skyrim are still alive and thriving today. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't even know. But then again, Bethesda is not the one doing this. So, I mean, it still proves our point. Like, Capcom could be in the same position, but for some odd fucking reason, they want to DRM, bro. Like, what the fuck? D-Live says the 1984 of gaming. We already addressed that, but he's absolutely right. Like, this is some Orwellian bullshit.
I've been saying it too, brother. I know exact. You're absolutely on that one. You're on the gold nugget. No, actually, you're on the platinum nugget.
Kaine regrets his purchase. You're not wrong. I didn't buy Resident Evil. I didn't buy Street Fighter 6. I noped the fuck out of that shit. After I saw where it was headed, after Street Fighter 5, I was out. But
Shit,
I
I
regret my purchases now still because they're gonna
hilarious?
Go ahead.
You know what's hilarious is I have not bought any Street Fighter game. I only have pirated copies of it. You know, ROMs. Back when it was the old days.
No. The good old days.
The good old days.
Let me go ahead and read some of these comments down here from Bounding in the Comics. So we got one from the Judging Crow. He says, this is a very bad move. Think about it. Anyone who legitimately buys the game now has 2 layers of DRM that affect the game, while others who obtain the game get a superior copy. Exactly. What is your incentive to buy from them? Exactly. Same with DVDs. I have bought one that has none of the episodes in proper sequence. Not a bad move at all. What the fuck? Somebody agrees with Capcom? I gotta read this. Not a bad move at all. The main reason they did it is because everyone has been sucking their D for a while now, and now they're too big to fail, so they can afford to do contemptible stuff like this with little to no backlash. No, it's definitely a bad move.
Wait,
like,
what?
just because you have money now don't mean. I get he's being sarcastic. I get it, but at the same time, just because you have money now doesn't guarantee you will continue to earn it or have that same money in the future.
Especially,
bro, like Hollywood's losing billions now.
Well, yeah,
they were shitting $1 billion films, and now they're hemorrhaging money, dude. Like,
Sips, you know I'm right. You know I'm right on this.
What did he type in the back, bro?
I will.
Don't read it.
I'm not. I have no comments.
Don't read.
Hey, it was another comment about the set of cheeks on the article. I said that even though sadly, even though they're not Hispanic, Asian, or chocolate skin toned, they'll still do.
I have no comments at that.
I regret asking, dude. I regret fucking asking.
You asked for that. You asked for that one.
I thought you were gonna keep that private.
So anyway, to Angry Rodent. Oh fuck, that guy's name was Giggling Stoner. Angry Rodent. Too big to fail. Wall Street thought the same thing and then had to be bailed out by the government. Nobody and nothing is too big to fail. Part of the industry, Scott Gunn, part of the industry's 2-pronged strategy. 1, make games impossible to pirate. 2, make games so awful that no one would want to pirate them in the first place. First name yo, last name yo. These people are so delusional sometimes that it is believable. Mods are what impact game popularity the most. I wouldn't say the most. Say what?
No, sorry. I was just saying that I like some of these names. It's like some of them fit and some of them are just so random. It's so funny.
They are straight. They are straight message board names, and I love it. These people are so delusional sometimes that it's believable. Mods are what impact game. Go ahead.
We need some 8chan board names now. We really need a few of those.
No. Let me continue. We don't need none of them. No. Somebody's gonna have Lovecraft's cat name. Somebody's gonna have Lovecraft's cat's name 69 on that. No. These people are so delusional. Sometimes it's believable. Mods are what impact game popularity the most. No mods equal quick death. I kind of made that argument with Dragon's Dogma 2 earlier. This is like free advertisement and almost a guarantee the next game will sell well. Greed is blind. They are greedy. Enoch Powell. Capcom is on my boycott list for over... Has been on is what he meant.
You know,
my boycott list for over 2 years now. These anti-modding actions have only emboldened my decision to never buy from this anti-consumer corporation again. Don't worry. I also boycott EA, Ubisoft, WB Games, Xbox Game Studios, Take-Two, Activision Blizzard, and most other major gaming companies. See more. Let me see. They are all identical in ripping off customers and spreading propaganda. God damn it. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think the biggest irony in all of this is that the greediest companies that are the ones losing the most money, despite the ones wanting the most money.
Well, when you push
yeah,
this
that
kind
is
of
very
shit,
ironic.
when you push this kind of this virtue signaling of all these kind of subversive fucking narratives, you know, and you get funded. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers are getting funded to do this, to peddle that shit. They're getting kickback in some way or another.
I mean, of course they are.
They're
Yeah.
getting promised. So that's why they're doing this, and someone's telling them to do it. Like here in America, and you got these America's corporations. Who do you think, gives out the quantitative easing based on who's running in the political office? Because you know they co-run the central bank. Don't let any leftists tell you that they don't, because that is automatically a lie. Oh, you know, who do you think Obama was printing DOS? You know, who do you think was, you know, Obama was telling somebody to print DOS to send to NAMBLA. DOS, yeah. Somebody was Obama was telling somebody to print DOS for NAMBLA when they were you know, sending out, you know, ANAL space FISTING kits to little kids and quote unquote teacher unions. I wish
Dude,
I was lying
never
about
thought
that
we'd
one.
hear that brought up in a discussion about video games.
But the patterns,
hear
the patterns exactly the same, and it can damn well go down that twisted direction very easily. It's a warning. Now you might call me schizo or
Jane
whatever,
Walker
but
says,
it damn well could.
I was gonna respond to him, damn it.
"Nah, you can respond to him."
I was gonna say, Jaden says most game developers choose quantity over quality. Not just game developers. I mean, a lot, even like movie producers are guilty of this, especially too. And you are 100% right on that.
Like I said, it can go down that direction pretty damn easy. It's only a matter of when and who's going to do it first. That's what's bad.
The second half of this comment reads, "They are all identical in ripping off customers and spreading propaganda in exchange for bad games. Independent, small, and some medium-sized companies are the only ones worth buying at. And even then, you have to be careful not to buy from an SJW nest which tries to emulate these corporations." Let's see the reply to this. I think that's all I'm going to read for the comments here. We got the point. Out of curiosity, what did it for you? They have been on my blacklist since fake DMC. I mean, that's different, though. Like, I'm not going to put a company on my blacklist for making a bad game. That's way different than the shit we're dealing with now. Like a string of bad games it would take for me to put a company on blacklist. Like, you would have to be known for making shit games back in the day for me to put you on a blacklist. Now, it's 1% of any critical theory, and you're fucking out of there, bro. I can't do it. Go ahead, Soups.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, well, that's technically making a string of bad games.
Well, you can make this. The problem is you can make a good game and still peddle its subversive shit, but the way they do it, well, you can and you can't. The way they're doing it.
How about we just not do that at all?
Right. I'm not advocating do it at all.
Like, just make a game.
What they're doing is they're making a good product, or in this case now they're making it a service arbitrarily. And then they're taking away your access to the service if you don't follow this new line they're being told to push. And they're getting kickback for doing what they're told. That's what's going on. They give you a good product and then they fuck you out of it for not listening or not complying.
Another pillar of my childhood development falls, dude. Another one.
Most of mine just died.
Dude, this company Dude, I can't even express to you how fucking euphoric and what's the word? I don't know, but it's two of my favorite things that just happened to come together. I was a huge fan of Capcom fighting games, specifically fighting games, a huge fan of them, and a huge fan of Marvel Comics. And then I fuck around and discover that Capcom collabed with fucking Marvel Comics to make Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of the Superheroes. And that was the start of fucking everything after that. I think before then I was playing... Well, obviously Street Fighter 2, and before Street Fighter 2, I had actually been introduced to King of Fighters 99. So, like, to have that happen and, like, to see where they are now is just fucking, this shit is gut-wrenching. I hate this. Like, I'm not proud of this. Like, this shit sucks. Like, it's horrible.
Okay, instead of euphoric, what you probably might want to look for as an analogy, say you took 5 hits of acid, now you're having a real bad trip, and you want out of it now.
I don't even think euphoric was the word I was looking for.
More like
it was something else.
Like you had that acid. More like the acid was forced down your throat, and now you want out.
Still the same effect.
I don't think any of these analogies work for what I was going for. But anyway, I mean, moving on to something a little bit more recent that happened in gaming that everyone hates. Thank God everyone's starting to see it now. Like, this is almost like unanimous. Nothing has been this unanimous since The Last of Us 2. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is crazy. Like, searches for Suicide Squad refunds surged 791% following the game's early access launch disaster. Go ahead. How is that percentage possible?
I was gonna say, but anything is possible. But also, I just want to say what I love about this is that this unity is even bigger than The Last of Us 2. For all the reasons that Rocksteady did not want.
That is a wild percentage, dude. Suicide Squad can't catch a break. What you need to know: Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is an upcoming online action game built by Rocksteady, the team behind the masterpiece Arkhamverse Batman games. The game notoriously previewed poorly, with major outlets like IGN posting up negative early impressions. IGN then reported that Warner Bros. Has barred them from review copies of the game. See, shit like that was the problem to begin with, bro. Review copies. Because people just use it to essentially bribe people into giving only positive reviews and stifling honesty. This culture of gaming journalism, if you can even fucking call it that, was the first nail in the coffin in the decline toward mainstream video games. Like, it was, dude. Like, this fucking access shit was the start of it. Willing to be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure that's where it started. It has to be.
I mean, it's a sellout culture.
Sellout cancer. You know what else also?
Right.
The censorious nature of it. You know what's another interesting pattern I noticed? Similar to fascists and Nazis.
Go
as
ahead.
well as the Marxists. It's similar to all those. But then again, they're all from the same origin anyway. So it's no surprise. But the pattern's just so blatant into my fucking face. Guys, Toaster made a joke about an anthem. If you want to know about the end joke, it's very simple. There was the fascist Italy basically wanted to make a grift movement for when they did the Abyssinian conquest, or Ethiopian conquest, they wanted to try to peddle that they're freedom fighters, and they had a whole anthem about grifting that and wanting some brown sugar, if you know what I'm saying, openly.
Wow.
So
I don't even want to ask what the fuck that is.
Just
Don't
scroll
tell
on
me
the
what that
chat.
is.
And
I know
I'm
what
like,
it
dude,
is.
I
It's
promise
wild.
you'll laugh, dude. It's hilarious. I got sent that one day by one of my Swedish buddies. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And they sent it. I'm like, you're bullshitting me. And I'm like, sweet Jesus. It's always been clown world. What the fuck? I almost died that day. I was threatening to call 911 for oxygen. Fuck.
Moving on.
It's wild.
The game is now in a paid early access period, but a devastating launch bug has seen the game taken offline. Google Trends data reveals a near 800% spike in searches revolving around refunding the game, triggered by the game's offline maintenance periods. That's not even the worst part. Like, not only do they release a product that doesn't work properly, but we're going to get into the other reasons that you should not buy this fucking game under any circumstances. If you value your time and money, you do not buy this shit. Like, I don't even tell people not to buy shit, but this is the day and age. This is the day and age we need to just start telling people, don't buy this shit. Just don't even do it. Like, don't buy it. Like,
value your sanity.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League just can't catch a break. Developed by the legendary studio, right? God damn it, bro. I just fucking read this. Why do they do this? The game has seen controversy after controversy going back as far as its initial reveal. There's been backlash against its always online nature. I'm not even going to comment on that right now, which is a huge departure from the single-player focused action games Rocksteady is known for. There has been a definitive trend of studios being forced by publishers to pivot to service games only for them to get shuttered later on. Some of the skepticism may stem from games like Square Enix's Marvel's Avengers title, which saw a similar development cycle. That skepticism was since compounded by fragments of gameplay and story beats that leaked prior.
Neither will I, Jaden.
What?
Neither will I.
Yeah,
he said,
Jaden.
I will never forget
Jaden,
Rocksteady for how they disrespected Kevin Conroy's Batman and the Justice League in that garbage of a game. That's why I said what I did. I absolutely...
Yeah, that alone is enough reason to not buy this game ever. The disrespect to Kevin Conroy Batman. Unacceptable.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy was a badass.
Shit, where was I before that? Shit, hang on.
Something about the maintenance, or was it?
No, it was way after that.
Oh yeah, it was after always online nature. After that.
I read that.
Well,
it was some of the skepticism may stem from games like Square Enix's Marvel's Avengers title, which saw a similar development cycle. The skepticism was since compounded by fragments of gameplay and story beats that leaked prior to the game's launch, with fans once again doubting the game's direction. Later on, IGN and other major press outlets previewed the game with a near unanimous negative tone, which is rare to see occur so broadly. We didn't like it, said IGN, who then later was reportedly denied review access by Warner Bros. In retaliation. It's worth noting that Windows Central was also not offered review codes, but it's not entirely unexpected with a live service game. But the game is now available in a paid early access period, and we've still yet to experience the game for ourselves. In any case, it seems that players are discovering for themselves that Suicide Squad might be destined for a rocky future. So anyway, leaks.
Even the show media.
Do I even need to put a... Yeah, even they hate it, which... Do I even need to say spoiler warning? Do I need... Does anyone really give a fuck about knowing what...
There's no need, there's never a need, no.
Who gives a fuck, dude? Who gives a fuck? Like, the story beats that leaked for this game... See, this is the... Okay, before we even get into that, there's this argument I see circulating all the time whenever controversies like this pop up. And it's that it's unfair to criticize something with no context, which, one, it's not no context. They completely fucking ignore the fact that these are leaks, which are likely from the fucking source, from an internal source, right? And then they act like the context is gonna make it better, which it never fucking does, right? And they speak from ignorance like this because it's always characters that we already know of because some of us actually fucking read comic books. So for you to tell us that we don't know what we're talking about, it just makes you look dumb. Anyway, furthermore from that, right? Oh, Jesus.
It's always downplaying everyone's reasonable concerns and criticisms. It's annoying.
Yeah, it's a hand wave. It's a bad faith hand wave.
Yeah, I got it back.
Yeah, the good Lord has nothing to do with this shit.
The entire point of advertisements is for you to make judgments on the product before you have full context. Like, that's the entire fucking point of it. But it seems like if it's anything other than positive hype, suddenly we need sources or we need to wait for the game to drop in order for us to make an accurate assessment. Like, it makes no sense. It's never the case when everyone's gung-ho for something to be released. It's the most retarded shit I've ever seen. Especially since we haven't been wrong yet. Like, every game that's had like snippets taken out of it and shown to the public and people were like, well, I don't like that, they've been right every time. So it's ridiculous. Like, how come you get to think the game's gonna be good without any context, but I can't think it's gonna be complete shit without any context, or so-called without any content?
Yeah, I believe this is another modern expression of the economic law, wisdom of the crowds, I believe. Economic laws, things, a lot of the central banking, pro-central bank economic ideologies love to be denialists of, those things.
Yeah.
I don't know what that argument consists of, or that law.
Yeah, wisdom of the commons.
The point is that they use the same tactics, right?
Yes, it's a similar. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It seems like
similar.
Okay.
Similar strategy, similar frame of work, whatever.
Yeah, wisdom of the crowd is the economic observation of the collective opinion of a diverse, independent group of individuals rather than a single expert. While this process, while not new to the information age, has been pushed into the mainstream spotlight because of social information websites. And it's basically it goes all the way back to Aristotle. It is possible that the many, though not individually good men, yet when they come together may be better, not individually, but as a collective result, than those who are so. Just as public dinners, which make a tree, are better than those supplied by one man's cost. The collective decision of individuals not liking this game is another expression of that. Had to refresh my memory.
Fuck, I still didn't decipher the meaning. But it doesn't matter. I'll probably look into it later.
I could just DM you.
Moving on with the article, it says after. Yeah, just DM me the definition.
This lag sucks ass.
After launch, Rocksteady took the game entirely offline to fix a devastating bug that would lead to new players receiving 100% completion of the entire game without having done anything. This led to major story spoilers permeating even further around the web. And considering the story as one of the few positive points from the preview round, it comes in as particularly egregious. As an always online game, even if you're playing solo for the story, you no longer have access as Rocksteady continues its maintenance periods. To gain early access, you need the Suicide Squad to kill the Justice League Deluxe Edition, which costs an absurd $100. As such, one of the benefits therein of said Deluxe Edition is no longer available, owing to this lengthy maintenance period. Like, oh wow. So the early access period was literally like destroyed because of maintenance. Like, wow. Go ahead.
That is one of the most hilarious goofs. That's one of the most hilarious goofs I have just heard, and I've heard a lot. But also, just imagine going in a game that's like, oh, it says I'm already done with it. Oh well, guess I'll go on with my day. But then also making another edition that costs $100. $100 with a game with this many problems. Not even speaking from a story standpoint, just technically. Marketing 101, everyone. That's real big stock sales making right there.
This is the problem here with where deluxe editions of games have gone. In the past, the entire point of the deluxe edition of a game was that you received some form of upgrade in the form of physical media and collectibles. Why the fuck would I pay $100 for a digital good? I'm not done. Right. Why the fuck would I pay $100 for a digital good that offers me nothing but early access, where I get to play the game a couple days ahead of time? Why? Why would I do that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and extended game content as well as collectibles and all that shit. It especially could include all those.
Yeah, it would include some downloadable content that was like exclusive. Yeah. But now, for deluxe editions of games, you get like the shit you get from it's $100 and all the shit's digital, and some of the digital items included aren't even exclusive. So like, what's the point now? Go ahead.
There just is none.
There is no point, and well, there is no point. Number one, number two. It's a net loss. There's no net gain, and it's overpriced bullshit.
Yeah,
pretty much. That's all there is to it. Like, there's no.
And if it's all digital content, if it's all digital content, there's no point because modding would take care of it for you.
It's gonna say Toast says it's the metaphor. Don't judge a book by its cover, except the overall book is doo-doo, but people like the cover. Except in this case, even the cover is absolute doo-doo.
Yeah, and everyone says, and everyone could see it for varying reasons, subject to each individual. So the analogy's still correct, but it's either don't judge a book by its cover, because the collective wisdom of the people, of combining can affect your judgment, because for some reason a majority likes this or dislikes it, and each individual person either likes or dislikes this thing. So when something's universally panned, you're doing something completely fucked. But the metaphor, yes, is still accurate.
I'm never gonna be swayed by the crowd when it comes to stuff like this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say real quick. My battery's gonna die, so I'm gonna have to hop off the stream for tonight. But yeah, overall, this game is just gonna be crap. It
is.
Everyone knows
it.
Even the
Mahler did a full playthrough.
Oh yeah, Mahler did it. The pain, you could hear the pain in his voice.
Mm-hmm.
That game's not good.
I wish I could stay around longer for the other topics, but
I'll stay for him.
I, yeah. So have fun with the rest of the topics, despite how painful they're gonna be. I'll probably leave a comment on it later on, but yeah, I'm gonna have to hop off now. Nice seeing you guys.
Yeah, take care
All
of
right, man.
yourself.
Peace
Nice
out.
to
Good
join
having
you
you.
again. Yep. See you guys. Let me-
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna continue with the article. It says to gain early access, I already read that. Damn. So we have a tweet from Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League official Twitter. We're aware that a number of players are currently experiencing an issue whereby upon logging into the game for the first time, they have full story completion. To resolve this issue, we will be performing maintenance on the game servers. Damn it, I don't want to read the full tweet. Shit. I wish I could just read the whole tweet. Just here. I guess I'll
Yeah, but it's
read
too
it real quick.
painful though.
There we go. To resolve this issue, we'll be performing maintenance on the game servers. During this time, the game will be unavailable. We expect this to take several hours and will update once we have more information. We apologize for the inconvenience. And people are rightfully saying stuff like this is why games have offline modes. Which, why does this game have to always be online, given that like the story from what I saw is like very short. Like I think he beat the game in a total of like 7 + 6 12 hours. 12 hours is some change. I'll give it 13 hours. And then after that, it's just in-game content, which they introduce and justify via multiverse. Again, more multiverse. The worst thing to happen in entertainment. I'm calling it now.
I don't. This is
The worst possible thing to happen.
I'll agree to disagree. I think, but I think the multiverse as a conception was a Pandora's box for both good and bad. That's what I think, because it's been used to cop out of shit so easy.
We've gotten no good in the past forever. If I had a choice between consistent continuity and multiverse, I know which one I'm picking. I know which one I'm picking. And
at least back in the golden era, you could have had both, because they did. The only problem was Superman from Earth 2 was OP. That's the only thing.
And anything that wasn't main continuity didn't matter. So, I mean, I guess people who liked it could read it, whatever, but like
and they could
really
pick
matter,
up on it
really.
again if they wanted to, because it was there, and do new story arcs, on that continuity, as long as it kept it consistent with the continuity. And that's the kind of conditions they made for it back then. So if you're gonna pick one, pick one. But if you can have both and have it and enforce the two together, like each continuity be consistent and well written. That's the issue. Because the multiverse can serve as an avenue for good stories to run parallel to each other, but it can also serve as an avenue to just the absolute most cancerous bullshitting and calling it writing. Like what happened after DC's Convergence, the Dark Infinite Crisis, which did not need to exist, the merging of New Earth and the current continuity, just because the two Supermen and the two Lois Lanes just randomly merged. They have no explanation why, garbage like that. But that's also, the subversives were making use of that incentive anyway to push their shit. But anyone that's in the know already knows this.
This just opens another discussion, but that's just gonna derail us, because like there's arguments
we can do
against
that some
too.
other time.
Just continue.
We can talk about that together some other time.
Yeah, because it looks like they're actually gonna get into the writing. As of writing, the game is now currently live again. Oh, never mind. Shit, that's That's not what they meant. But it's unclear how long that'll last for. It's also arguably a violation of the game's 72 hours early access promise, considering the game was down for several hours, which has contributed to this surge in refund interest. If you're playing Suicide Squad on Steam, you can grab a refund via Steam's refund page here. Xbox users will have to explore their purchase and refund options on the Microsoft account page here. But as of writing, it's not guaranteed that these platforms will offer blanket refunds. If you spend a certain amount of time in the game, often Steam, Microsoft, and other platform holders will open up reviews beyond the usage period in extenuating circumstances such as the ones we're seeing here. Is Suicide Squad fun though? I'd love to hear their opinion on it. Having not played the game myself, it's hard to comment on whether or not the game is worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The game's not fun. The gameplay is repetitive. Literally, you can't. Most of the shit you do in the game, you can't even fail. When it comes to like how you play the game, most of the deaths you're gonna receive is gonna be a combination of longevity, because like the bosses you fight have 1 trillion health, and the fact that your shields don't regenerate. Here's another weird thing about the game. They try to justify the gameplay mechanics with in-world reasoning, which you literally don't even have to do because it's a video game. Like, that's the beauty of it being a video game. Like, obviously, players would argue about the reason behind a game developer choosing to use certain mechanics, but whenever you give an in-world reason for it, and that in-world reason doesn't fucking make sense, now I have a legitimate reason to say that this mechanic has no reason to fucking exist. When if you just didn't do that, it could be left up to speculation. I could literally just chalk it up to video game logic. That's what the developers wanted.
Yeah, I agree. Like with, you remember Final Fantasy VIII? When you started that game, you just took an ass load of time grinding just to get a little experience and shit, and get a feel good in the battle system. I just did not like it. And I used in-game reason to try to justify that. I think Spoony one was the guy that first reviewed it and explained this in detail. I tried it with the ROM. I'm like, holy shit, this is bad. At least the others, the Final Fantasies 1 through 7 had better XP and battle mechanics through and through across the board. And he didn't take for fucking ever to get something done in that department. Oh, and
I can't speak on the Final Fantasy right now. Go ahead.
Fair enough. But anyways, Toast, that's kind of feeding into my point that multiverse as a concept for fiction and stuff. It's a can of worms for the worse, but it's a treasure trove of gold at the same time. It's a big opportunity for better and for worse. That's another example of what I'm saying for worse. Along with, because they cop out, for instance, I could give you an example about time travel, about, multiversal time travel. And I've looked up paradoxes. I thoroughly studied them a while. So I had to figure out a way to, not loophole them, and how they could be conditioned loopholes in Guardians of the Omniverse. That's a pain in the ass to manage too, but I'm willing to do it. Because, you go into
I was going to get
universe.
into why.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead, Kaine. I'm done for now.
Yeah, I was going to get into why the reasoning doesn't work for Suicide Squad. So there's an in-game mechanic where, your shields don't regenerate, and you have to shoot enemies in the leg and collect like this item that restores your shields. And again, you'd be able to just accept it as a gameplay mechanic and maybe be like, wow, this is kind of a shit choice the developers chose or whatever. But when the game says, you know, Waller, right? She's like, no regenerating shields because each minute you spend in cover wastes my time. And it's like, so if you want them to effectively accomplish their mission, why wouldn't you give them regenerating shields? Because I'm going to have to get in cover anyway, because when my shield breaks, I'm not going to fucking run at them and die. Like, it just makes no sense. You know, like, you didn't even have to put that in the dialogue for the game. You could have just had it be a gameplay mechanic. But, where was I? Yeah, but anecdotally, some of my friends are enjoying the combat loop and the story, with some expressing positive comments about its dialogue and acting. I've also heard the opposite, so the jury is well and truly out. I'm not sure if we'll be able to commit to a full review of the game, but for Rocksteady's sake, I sorely hope the game finds its footing and finds its audience. This is a bad time for games to struggle commercially, as various firms look to cost-cutting measures faced with a squeeze on capital and operating margins. Microsoft laid off 1,900 gaming staff to that effect just the other day, with various other gaming firms from Riot to Embracer looking to make cutbacks. Rocksteady is a legendary team in the Arkham universe of games, is among the best Batman media, period, including the comics, TV shows, and games. Long-suffering DC fans absolutely deserve a win here, and it might end up being Warner Bros. Greed preventing Suicide Squad launching with offline modes in a polished state that prevents them from getting that win. Let's see how it goes. I don't really care. I don't really care about companies who don't put their consumers first continuing to exist. And I don't understand them saying that this is really bad for the industry or whatever they were saying. Like, the industry cannot survive without its consumer base. And if they fail to fulfill the desires of the consumer base, they deserve to fail. So, like, I don't even understand this logic. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. So I was hoping they would get into some of the story beats that were in the game. And really all you need to know is that they make a complete mockery of every hero in the game. And I might even say they make a mockery of Wonder Woman. Not because they treat her as poorly as the male superheroes, but because she's being used as a tool for feminist propaganda, which she so obviously is. Same with Harley Quinn. Like, having sex appeal is wrong because she looks at her old costume in disgust and puts on that stupid ass punk rock shit, which wouldn't be bad in isolation, but given where it's coming from, it's stupid, right? Yeah. Harley Quinn, who is a criminal, before killing Batman, you know, oh, by the way, she kills Batman. She attempts to get on a soapbox. I mean, okay. I don't even know. See, that's another thing about the game. I don't even know how they managed to defeat the members of the Justice League. It doesn't. None of the ways they end up defeating them make any sense, because they are constantly put in positions where the evil forms of the Justice League members instantly defeat them, or they could instantly defeat them, but for some odd reason they just choose not to. So that's my main problem with this game. When I heard Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, the first thing that popped into my head was how they don't have the muscle to do it. And because they don't have the muscle to do it, the game has to save them from certain deaths several times. Every character who could kill them in literally an instant has to functionally be completely fucking retarded in order for them to succeed. And there just leaves in the wind to the plot, and everything happens because the plot needs it to happen. Every male hero that gets defeated is embarrassed, they're humiliated, their corpse is desecrated, or their legacy is tarnished in some way, like in the case of Kevin Conroy. The Flash literally gets pissed on, and again, they show the Flash take somebody's heart out without them even noticing, yet we're supposed to believe that he wouldn't do the same to the people he's opposing in the Suicide Squad. Apparently Green Lantern was like reduced to some boxers, like he was like stripped down to his boxers, which were Green Lantern themed before Deadshot killed him. Superman got stabbed in the heart with kryptonite by Wonder Woman, and she ended up getting killed by Superman in the exchange in a way that wasn't her fault, because for some reason the green kryptonite didn't work. And so I covered GL, Flash, Batman, and Superman. Is that all of them? Oh yeah, Wonder Woman. I covered everyone's deaths. So yeah, the way they end up winning any of these encounters makes no sense. They even fight a Brainiac that has access to the full range of abilities of the Justice League, still somehow win. They fight enemies that are infused with the Speed Force and still somehow win. Like, this game is a dumpster fire in regard to storytelling. The comedy's terrible. None of the jokes are fucking funny at all. And I mean, that's really the extent of the story. Like, it's just not, like, nothing makes sense because the foundation is just fucked from its inception. That's really it. Nothing about this game is worth it from a technical standpoint, gameplay standpoint, or storytelling standpoint. You're just wasting your money. You got anything to add, Wes?
Nope.
You didn't watch anything about the game, did you?
Nope. I gave up on that I gave up on DC as a whole when Flashpoint happened. It's been a while.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I mean,
what's our last topic?
If you want, at some point in the future, if you want to ask me my rant, some of my rants about DC and Marvel and a bunch of others, like maybe 2 or 3 of the comic and companies, you can just ask me. I'll do that for you on a Monkey Paw episode if you want to, because I got a lot to say about a lot of them.
I think I already brought up the multiverse point earlier, but yeah, they introduced multiverse too. Lex Luthor is killed, and they meet another Lex Luthor from Earth 2, and he ends up helping them for the majority of the game. Another great thing about the Superman fight is that green kryptonite didn't work after he was stabbed in the fucking heart. But somehow this new yellow kryptonite that fucking Lex Luthor made does work, even though it doesn't. Like, here's the thing. The yellow kryptonite was supposed to dampen Superman's abilities, which immediately makes it less effective than green kryptonite, because green kryptonite is supposed to render him effectively useless. Like, he in some renditions, he can't even move when he's exposed to it. He survives getting stabbed in the heart with it. And you present us with this yellow kryptonite that I'm supposed to believe is effective for some reason, even though we see him get exposed to it and he just uses his heat vision to destroy it. And he could have easily killed the Suicide Squad at any point and just chooses not to, even though we know that he has incentive to do so. Like, it's just... It's brain rot watching this game play out, because with characters like the Justice League, they are way too powerful to justify them not acting in the way that we know they would if they were evil and had no reason to hold back. Like, it just doesn't work. Entire game is an insult to your fucking intelligence. Like,
I mean, I thought it was pretty bad, but like I said. When it comes to like DC and all that content specifically, I got a lot to say. If you ever want to hear me rant about it one day for your audience, if they're willing to hear it too, because I got, like I said, I got a shit ton. I had notes on a video I did. I filmed myself ranting on Facebook about this like more than a decade ago now. About one of my favorite comics getting fucked over in 06. Well,
we would have to have it would have to be during a relevant topic. Go ahead.
It had to be during what?
A relevant topic, like for like another comics. We have a couple of those in the pipeline actually. Like where there's one we're supposed to talk about how stock for the big two has been plummeting, and that's still relevant. So we can just read that probably next week. So you might get your chance there, especially since that'll be relevant to why we're seeing such a decline in their stocks and why obviously overall sales for comic books are just in the shitter. They're just not, and they haven't been going back up at all. So you might get your chance next week.
Yeah,
or
I hope so.
The week after next.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So, tying up the ESG topics, basically. Well, one of them was half DRM, half ESG, but tying up the topics, we now have this article that claims anti-woke economic terrorists have now wiped out $5 trillion in stock value.
Which is just peak hypocrisy spiraling and coping against the fact that their ESG commie shit is not going to work. You're poking a damn bear.
The fact that there's so much to be said just from the title alone is ridiculous. Who are the anti-woke economic terrorists who even have the ability to wipe out $5 trillion in stock value? Mm-hmm. Like one person, 5 people, 20 people, 100 people are not doing this, dude. Like, so this just shows you what they think of the average consumer who actually gives a fuck about video games. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. It says anti-ESG.
Yeah, they want them to eat the propaganda.
It's not gonna fucking happen.
Terrorist. Yeah, they're gonna label everyone on the planet as a terrorist.
It's not going to happen.
Like, look at what the feds did with the FBI paper. It's already happening there. Remember that shit? The militia violent extremists. I don't remember that. You know, there was an FBI paper that got leaked anonymously by someone amongst their ranks, and they label someone. They label someone either a militia violent extremist. What if they're like pro-Constitution, pro-Second Amendment, if they use the electrical symbol, if they quote the Founding Fathers, if they come from warrior culture, if they're an anarcho-capitalist, if they're any libertarian at all, if they're culturally conservative and family values, they get labeled a terrorist. A militia violent extremist, basically. So most of the at least nearly half of the populace is a domestic terrorist under that militia violent extremist paper leak. I wish I was lying, folks.
I was actually going to point out some of the iconography present in this. Okay. I was going to point out the iconography in this this picture here. They have a fucking Klansman hood right here. Like, what is that supposed to... These people are fucking insane, dude. Like, you're a Klansman and an anti-woke... You're like... Or at the very least, you're likened unto a Klansman and called an anti-woke economic terrorist for not liking ESG. It says anti-ESG hysteria driven by online hate platforms has disproportionately eroded portfolios of color and sabotaged our planet's future. Call it what it is. Terrorism. Oh my God, this is gonna be fun. The anti-wokes are celebrating yet another dubious victory as new data shows that global investments in ethical companies have nosedived. No, I pointed it out to the audience. It was the Klansman hood in the picture. Yes, it's right there. That's a Klansman hood. It's ridiculous.
You know what's hilarious? The KKK
Oh man,
is literally nothing but a bunch of inbred degenerates now.
I didn't mean for that to be a segment on the Klan. I was just pointing it out.
Yeah,
They're basically calling you a Klan member.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
If you don't like their propagandism, like speaking of the same type of tactic, guess what Israeli Fed works in the WEF has been peddles that freedom and human rights are a threat of democracy. Yuval Noah Harari. Yuval Noah Harari, Klaus Schwab's best buddy. I think there's a Washington Post article where he's talking about his claims about that. And I've not heard one of those mainstream media articles. Don't remember which exactly. It's wild. But technically, if you're going to have consistent democracy, you're going to have to be totalitarian. So that's technically true. So they're just admitting it now. You can't have democracy and consistent democracy. They're admitting it.
I'll start over from the top. It says the anti-wokes are celebrating yet another dubious victory as new data shows that global investments in ethical companies have nosedived by nearly $5 trillion over the past 2 years. The Global Sustainable Investment Alliance, GSIA, on Wednesday reported that the total value of sustainable assets has shrunk from $35.3 trillion in 2020 to a mere $30.3 trillion in 2022. A mere $30.3 trillion. Wow. Okay. S&P Global Clean Energy Index reports, a 30% fall so far in 2023, which is 2024 now, but this is still relevant because they still think you're economic terrorists. The United States alone has seen assets in ESG funds plunge 50.5% from over $17 trillion to a meager $8.4 trillion. Putting the word meager before trillion is the most pretentious shit I've ever seen in my life. I don't give a fuck if it's reduced by half. It's still trillions of dollars.
Yeah, it is still.
It's still trillions of dollars.
The pretentiousness is punchable.
Like, holy fuck. The repercussions of the anti-ESG downturn have not been felt uniformly. Investors of color bear a disproportionately heavy burden as they are more likely than white folks to invest in, I'm falling asleep, in companies aligned with ethical and sustainable practices. These are, after all, the companies that are also willing to affirm that non-white lives matter. While anti-ESG sentiment erodes financial portfolios of color, it also undermines our collective efforts to promote positive change through responsible investing, and the broader implications suggest that ever-widening gap in wealth and opportunity. As losses to portfolios of color only exacerbate existing disparities, Oh my God, this is brain rot. Let's be clear about where to put the blame. Conservative lawmakers, driven by an irrational culture of anti-woke hysteria, have actively taken measures to resist the incorporation.
Yeah, more of that gaslight shit. God, the elites. Dude. The elites are openly saying this.
ESG principles.
Yes, yeah. The elites are. The elites are saying this shit, and they're drawing a line in the sand, and they want to label you as a conservative terrorist. Jesus Christ. It's the elites that push the left shit.
I don't even think I'm gonna read this whole thing. I'm really reading it to get a point across, because like the fucking how there's a space in the Venn diagram for ESG in video games is just it makes absolutely no sense.
That's some psyop
It doesn't
shit,
make any
brother.
sense.
That's some real psyop.
We can no longer. We live in a world where we can no longer keep our pastimes and our politics separate. So now people who decide to opt out of their once favorite pastimes due to the invasion of politics and political ideology will be labeled as political enemies, even if they hold no such position. God, dude, like this is
They're
ridiculous.
gonna justify dehumanizing you and the
Holy
rest
shit.
of the masses because they're pieces of shit and they themselves are subhuman. I will openly, publicly say that because that is what they're doing. You have to be a subhuman to dehumanize others. Don't care who likes me saying that or not.
The fact that the fact that this is relevant to entertainment sickens me to my core, because they're bringing up conservatism as if that has anything. Conservatives do not like video games. They don't give a fuck about video games. But then again,
Right, but
I guess ESG is. I guess video games are a small part of ESG, but still, like, where the fuck else is it? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, they're gonna call you conservative because conservatism and Nazism and fascism are the same. So they want to justify dehumanizing you by calling you one of those other things. That's what they're trying to justify doing. They're pieces of shit.
Lord in heaven, dude.
This is what they do. They openly do this. They laid this shit out and all the way back to Antonio Gramsci to some extent, but more so the Frankfurt School. They put these particular details to it. Post-Marxian critical theorists.
Okay, good. This article. I'm sorry to interrupt. I got worried about how long this article was. So I just took a quick peek down. It's actually pretty short, but go ahead and finish. I'm going to read it myself.
Well, anyways, what I was saying, they all the way to Antonio Gramsci to fucking the Frankfurt School to the modern post-Marxian critical theorists that dig their various adjustments. I'll have to give you my little text file on that shit. It's development. But I can't even. No, I ain't starting that again. Fuck that. Anyway, because it's distracting me.
Toast says although I tend to be optimistic about the future, I can't even be optimistic about any of this, and it's quite depressing. To be completely honest with you, I don't blame you. But there's still other avenues for optimism. It's just not going to be found in the mainstream, sadly.
It just won't.
But I'm going to continue. No, it won't. I'm going to continue on with the article and go ahead and read some of the comments people left behind, because at least the comment section gives me hope about this article, though I'm sure we'll find some that agree with this article. Like, whatever. Where was I? Okay, it was the part about conservative lawmakers. Driven by an irrational culture of anti-woke hysteria, have actively taken measures to resist the incorporation of ESG principles into businesses and investing. This opposition has manifested in legislative efforts across multiple states from Florida to Utah, where lawmakers are pushing back against the injection of ethics into the financial sector, whatever that means.
Which is hilariously ironic on
House
their part.
Republicans. Yeah, it really is. Like, they have a different definition of what constitutes ethics.
Yeah, their ethics is what we would consider anti-ethical. That goes back to Marx and Lenin. What a shock. Their shit's so out in the open, but they're gaslighting everybody away from pointing this out more.
It's it is depressing. I agree with Toast. Related, House Republicans issue an anti-ESG priorities for 118th Congress, Bloomberg Law. The anti-woke hysteria driving them finds its origins in unmoderated online communities, most notably hate platforms like 4chan and X. God forbid people be having conversations that you're not a part of in secluded areas. Like, this is ridiculous. Bitter young males, often incels, from these dark websites are brutally enforcing a vast online alt-right echo chamber, effectively drowning out more rational voices.
I told you. What did I tell you?
What does getting laid have to do with any of this?
They want to lump anyone that disagrees with them as second class. And they want to label them as Nazis as a justification. That's what they're doing.
I mean, everything they call you is effectively the same label, like you expressed earlier. It's the same label, whether you're a conservative, a Nazi, an incel, or whatever the fuck they want to, whatever flavor of slander or libel they want to give to you that on any given day, like that's what you are. You are labeled a second class citizen.
But
this is why Gina Carano got on Twitter and made the comparison she made.
Yes. They don't mind you. They don't mind if it's their side doing these tactics because it's for their visions. Because my long-term gain for the utopia kind of BS. So, and plus, they're not lying to you because my truth is subjective. That's that post-Marxian adaptation of post-Marxian adaptation of postmodernism's nihilism about objective truth and epistemics. What they do is they'll say objective truth is a social construct, or you're supporting oppression groups, or mafapitalistism, as I mockingly call parody, but they're calling it capitalist. Anything they don't like that, or all these other labels. That's what they do. They want you to not program in good faith.
The thing I hate is that what they do is a bastardization of the spirit of philosophy. And what they're doing is conflating empiricism with, I'm not done. They're conflating empiricism with philosophy, but they leave out a key detail of philosophy. Like, there is still empiricism within philosophy. Like, there are measurable things that are objectively true. But, I mean,
technically, what they're doing is
like the reason why
what they're doing is they're rejecting the fundamentals of philosophy while claiming to be the new philosophy. Their view of what's to be empirical and epistemically true is their truth, and everybody else is just subjective opinions, bruh. That's what they're doing. It's evil. That's what they're doing. It's in their works. It's please get a copy of James Lindsay's Counter Wokecraft and read it. All of you. You too, Kaine. Read it. It's out in the open. It's been there for a long time. They want to redefine what it is to be empirical. They want to redefine what it is to be philosophical. They are anti-philosophy that's based on pursuit of truth. They want to turn it to a cult that centers around them. Like the motives, it's all there. Fucking wild, dude. It's like the average Joe that doesn't know this still think, oh, this schizo. No, it's not. They wrote it themselves. All this shit's just pieces of
anyway.
Death.
Fast forwarding. Basically, my point was gonna be that video, like pop culture and our favorite pastimes, is not a stomping grounds for any of this shit. That's why it makes no sense. Like this shit, like you can broach topics like this from those mediums, but it was never meant to be this deep. Like it just never was, and now here we are, to the point where I'm gonna go ahead. I was gonna continue when you finish.
Go ahead. Yeah, you continue. I'll finish. I'll finish it in a bit.
Okay, it says 4chan and X erupted in celebration on Wednesday when Elon Musk spread a dangerous advertisement-related conspiracy theory about a Jewish man while on the New York Times Deal Book Summit stage. I'm not playing that video. Outside of a few token efforts, the powerful ripple effects of these online ideologies on real-world policies is something that has not been grappled with, and far too many are still afraid to call the phenomenon what it is. Terrorism, because it is terrorism, as uncomfortable as the implications may be. MSNBC agrees. See, my God, dude. There's a point to me reading this. This right here is what's in our entertainment. Like, this conversation, like, this shit literally has absolutely nothing to do with our favorite pastimes. Nothing. Yet they want it there for some odd fucking reason. Well, we know the reason. It's just to brainwash people. But it's not gonna fucking work. It's not.
No, because all it's gonna do is create more division.
That's all it's gonna do. That really is all it's going to do. Like, I won't even say the next part I was thinking. I'll just continue reading. So that's the status update, my dear astronauts. Our planet and its future is now basically held hostage by young males recruited in 4chan's hate army by Elon Musk and extremist online podcasters like Joe Rogan and Tim Pool related, addressing the alt-right pipeline, whatever. Where do we go from here? Economic thinkers like Hassan Piker suggest one short-term solution for, let me just finish this and then you can say whatever, because I'm actually tired of reading this. Economic thinkers like Hassan Piker suggest one short-term solution for revitalizing ESG could involve ethical investment requirements for funds, ETFs, and 401k plans. Such a mandate could function as a booster shot in the arm of ethical financial interests, aligning global capital and sustainable and equitable societal goals. Will it happen? Not unless reasonable people get together and create their own lawmaker influencing echo chambers to counter theirs. A tall proposition. Ultimately, we'll have to deal with the terrorists. Our planet is now at stake. What the fuck? A black woman is speaking. Listen and learn.
More CRT propaganda. Lovely.
Say what you were gonna say. Say what you were gonna say, bro. Just say what you were gonna say before I get to my.
They're literally. They want it. They're the tyrants, so they want to control everything and bring their visions out. The UN's dirty R word. You know who I'm talking about, Kaine. Them and their descendants. They want to bring this kind of shit out. They want to use this. They want to use this to demoralize the populace, make them more vulnerable, and to be brainwashed, and to push these agendas they're going for. And I'm gonna warn you, anything that's even slightly utopian has to be inherently misanthropic. Why? Because it denies certain fundamental truths that we can know a priori or a post priori about people. And if you don't know what that means, folks, very simple. A priori is, you can learn it from deductive reasoning, and a post priori is after gathering the facts. Anyway. Yeah, a post priori, yeah, that's anyway. Yeah, prior analytics, a priori, it's deduction. Post prior analytics about, evidence and whatnot, discovering. So anyway, these fundamental things about human nature, they want to deny that and they want to suppress it. Like, again, free thought, according to these same assholes that are writing these articles, is a threat to what they want to call democracy. This is another reason why I'm not a fan of democracy, because it allows oligarchs like these assholes to do with this kind of shit here. I love Tyler Durden, by the way.
What was the rest of your point? Was that it?
It's the fact that not only that, But it's also the fact that they're not going to stop until we make them stop. I'm not going to advocate what might have to push come to shove, so I won't say it either. But please get the Counter Woke Craft by James Lindsay and read it. It's a very thin, but it's a short book. Everyone, or get the audiobook if they got one. But it's so short, I doubt they do because it's such a short book. It explains all this to you. The oligarchs are using this critical theory stuff and injecting it to subvert our entertainment, subvert us, to try to demoralize us, to be, like MK Ultra kind of shit, to make us obey them. That's what they're doing. And the left is all on this. Like, look, they're even invoking Hassan Piker. That is proof the progressivist narrative is part of the elite's agenda on one side. Here, especially the Western elites, particularly. Like, that's what's going on.
Right. Yeah. What I was gonna do is read some of the comments that people left in response to this article. I mean, I'm still blown away at how this topic has anything to do with pop culture or our favorite pastime.
Well,
but
again, like
anyway.
I said, it's these pieces of shit.
Yeah,
it was these pieces of shit that made it political when it wasn't. Everyone said, well, you're just political. No. The left made this political in the first place. This becoming political was what they desired. This is what, and this has become what it is because they made it this way. So damn wild. And then they wrote this shit, and it was out in the open. All of this was out in the open like a decade ago. Like Short Fat Otaku was educated on it, and then they started pulling back and trying to hide in plain sight so they could start acting on it. Shit's out there. And then you got leftists that deny there's a leftism peddling cabal, but openly say it'd be great if there was.
All right.
That's like a Nazi saying the Holocaust didn't happen, but they claim it'd be awesome if it did. Same non-reasoning.
All right.
It's so wild. Okay. So evil.
Continuing on to the comments. We have one for Tyler Durden, economic thinkers like Hassan Piker, and he's basically making a joke about how they put them both in the same sentence. Like, it's considering a socialist an economic thinker, like, insane, right? So he goes on to say, this is just the left-wing variant of economic grifts. Way to go, ESG, for getting another round of useless, uneducated shysters their mansions and luxury cars. Absolutely zero people of color have been legitimately helped, but at least your CEOs and leaders can live close enough to Hollywood Hills that they can just fake the rest. Almost sounds a bit like another organization that promises to help support people of color. Oh, but wait. I almost forgot these organizations aren't real. They're just ideas. There is no leadership, so stop looking into it. And then this next comment by Kill the Woke. Just a simple thought. Maybe your product is so shitty the consumer won't buy it. So instead of pushing your personal agenda, you should have delivered a good product. That's how the market works. Exactly.
Even though we don't have as much of a market.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep. What little of a market there still is, it still works when it manifests up. Markets are not something you just let exist. It'll come up whether you want it to or not. It's how hard you try to hold it down.
I mean, yeah, monopolies are only possible through government intervention, but no one wants to hear that. That's the thing.
Yeah, and no one wants to admit to that. But, what's hilarious? Leftists are peak monopolizers, too. Hilariously enough. They monopolized the word libertarian for 98 years before Murray Rothbard took it back with Leonard Reed, the founder of the FEE. Oh, the glory there.
We have a long comment here by Takver. He says, one hilarious thing is how you erroneously blame anti-woke hysteria on so-called unmoderated online communities, 4chan and X. I mean, there is a good amount of it that does come from YouTube. But overall, let's look at the facts. The VP at Bud Light calls her customer base fratty and out of touch. So doesn't that insult every single person who's ever been in a college fraternity and every single person who doesn't act hip and woke and postmodern, including tens of millions of older people? That's an awful lot of people to insult who then refuse to buy the product. And almost none of them have anything to do with 4chan or Twitter. You might want to actually walk out into the real world and ask the vast majority of people what they think. Most of them have decidedly centrism and mainstream views before making such a statement, blaming the supposed dark corners of the internet for why nobody agrees with you. Anonymous. Conservatives have the money and purchasing power. Very few PLC are investors anyway. You can't make us spend money where we don't want to spend it. Boo-hoo, cry harder. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm not going to read all these. Like, this is a fucking long chain of comments. But yeah, anyway, the point of me reading that is to point out just how politically blind and ideologically blind the people who champion ESG are, which, by the way, I didn't even know what ESG stood for until I read this article. Environmental Social Governance. I think I might have when we read that fucking Sweet Baby Inc. article, but I just got a refresher. Like, typically speaking, I would never read an article this steeped in political ideology for this podcast because it's about entertainment. But literally in this day and age, the two are married. But typically, the articles we broach, like, mostly stick to the entertainment aspect and only point out the political aspects in an instanced form. Like, these people in this article, like, pointed out conservatism, called people terrorists, spoke about unmoderated chat rooms that spew hate speech. Like, no, we don't broach topics like that, but this is what's being seeped and drip fed into all facets of your entertainment. So, like,
and just your
at
life
some
in
point,
general.
I would have run into something like this anyway.
It's
like,
in every damn aspect of your life. That is why I am linking so the 3 best books to start understanding this process by James Lindsay, and a few books by Rothbard, and then if he wants to shill them on the channel, he can. He doesn't have to. It's optional, but I DM'd them to him. And it helps you understand how FUBAR... And I did link a book by Thomas Sowell. I love that guy. He's actually one of the guys that introduced me to a lot of the shit that's been, really been going on. And Walter E. Williams. But I got Vision of the Anointed. That's another one. And these are the books. If you want to look for audiobooks or want to read and to look into how this shit's been going, these are the ones to start out with, like, hands down. It's out in the open right there in those works, and they explain it to you. Pretty evil. I mean, if you don't want to, you don't
I'll have to check those because I'm not looking at. I'm just not looking at Discord right now.
Right. I'm just telling everybody. Like I said, if you don't want to link them, that's fine. But it's a good thing to start out with to understand.
Yeah, no, I don't really do required reading.
Right.
Well, not required reading, but I don't do like book recommendations or anything.
That's fair.
But what I did want to get into before we closed out the show was because I did want to address this. There were some things that were going on with Comicsgate and shit. I mean, I guess first I'll start out with the reason why I never really got behind these sort of gate movements when it came to pop culture and entertainment. And the reason for that is pop culture and entertainment, they're not movements. Like, that's not what they are. They're just our hobbies. And responses to people trying to infiltrate our hobbies, you know, the response is to either continue to enjoy them, which is what we did largely back when the content was still good, or to just create a parallel economy. And that's all we do. Like, we don't rally behind some fucking banner. And you know, because I liken something like what's going on now to like the Age of Enlightenment. The Age of Enlightenment wasn't a movement. It was an age in which a certain group of people decided to be better than they were yesterday through the concept of education, philosophy, art, whatever. That's the exact same thing that we should have done when it comes to this comics gate or gamer gate or things like that. Because what's happening with comics gate right now is exactly why I don't rally behind those things. Apparently, the supposed leader of comics gate has like pretty much become somewhat of a drama farmer as of late. And taken to targeting other people who are in the same industry as him and having like fallings out with him, and, you know, basically going against initially what the movement was supposed to be about, which is essentially just making good comic books.
I know who this is.
Not only do I have a problem with that, I mean, yeah, you do.
Yikes.
You know who it is. The thing that bothered me even more than that was that some people would like distance themselves away from comics gate content, which, again, another byproduct of these movements is that anyone who happens to be in the same industry as people who are comics gate is instantly tarred as a comics gator, which is why I don't like when we adopt the monikers of our fucking enemies, because we've essentially relented to them defining us and labeling us. That's why I don't like attaching myself to labels and shit like that. You know, like it's just annoying because people feel the need to distance themselves away from their favorite pastimes because of things like that. Instead of ignoring all the drama that's going on and just focusing on enjoying the content. And honestly, in my opinion, if you're gonna be someone, if you claim to love this medium so much and yet you let people keep you away from it because they're focused on the wrong things, I think you need to assess how much you actually love the medium, because to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Why would you let the actions of other people keep you away from something you claim to enjoy? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. The beef is stupid and it shouldn't exist. The only thing people should be doing is focusing on putting out their products, making good product for the consumer, and just giving us all an avenue to enjoy something we once loved, unimpeded by political ideology or uninterrupted, or, you know what I mean?
Any of that.
But for some reason now, yeah, people have decided to hyper focus on some fucking fake beefs or whatever the fuck that are going on, and it's very disheartening and annoying, which is why I felt the need to say something about it. And I hope no one here feels the need to distance himself away from anything because some people have made it all about fucking fake beefs and drama.
Yeah, I mean,
like, that was really the thing I wanted to get off my chest about it. It was just, I just got tired of seeing it and saying nothing about it. It's just annoying.
I mean, this deserves it. And like I said, I for legal reasons, I will never advocate or advise this. But to be technical, to be descriptive, to not even give a suggestion. Piracy also, along with just supporting individual developers, are ways to make a stand. Again, no advocacy, no suggestions, and it's not advice. It is just describing something that is seen out in the open.
I mean, yeah.
Unique name Saurus.
For anything, not just
this, but it's a form of non-compliance and drawing your line in the sand, saying we're going to defund you. We're walking away if you don't stop.
Yeah, and you can take that response to any entertainment medium at all. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about the Comicsgate thing. I just felt the need to say something about it. But other than that, that's all our topics for the evening. Do you have any closing thoughts, Wes, before we wrap it up?
I'm gonna leave a comment section below the video in the comment section, and I hope you pin it, because I'm gonna give the titles of those books I linked. If anyone wants to check them out, these are the very ones you want to check out. I'm gonna add one more name to the list. I didn't DM it to you yet, but I will eventually. They will help you understand what I am describing, and you'll know what I'm talking about in detail, and you will get why I'm talking about it, and I'm injecting it here and there, because all this corrosion and subversion of our entertainment and all that is to try to do this shit. It's to deliberately mess with us. It's to try to manipulate us, trying to, to weaken us mentally. It's not going to work on a lot of us. Some will, but I'm not, collectivists are going to collectivist, so they're going to be more subject to it, left or right on that regard, regardless. But a lot of us, the average ignoramus that doesn't know what's going on, but knows something's wrong, might not like this, and they can find out. It was public info until, I don't know, a decade ago. Like I said, Short Fat Otaku was taught this shit in one of his school courses or whatever, when he did his long documentary on Gramsci. I hate that he's an unironic libtard that doesn't believe in liberty but likes the benefits of it. But he's a statistic, unfortunately. But he is a great resource as well on a lot of this too. But that's why we got the Monkey Paw doing commentaries on these subversion tactics being all applied to the entertainment industry, and the cringe in the entertainment industries it creates. That's why the Monkey Paw it's entertainment based, but it's growing more and more where this shit's getting arbitrarily intertwined, and it's the establishment and their
the scale
pushing the shit.
Well, whether it's a scale or just a blender at this point, like it's gradually getting more and more. The entertainment is being more and more diluted to the point where there's pretty much only politics. It's like watered down. It's like watered down liquor. You know what I mean? Like it's mostly water and with a little bit of liquor. Like that's what the entertainment's becoming.
It is. It's what it's becoming, and it's just propagandism. And what's hilarious, what they're going to try to do is they're basically invoking some of the teachings of not just, like I said, the critical theorists, critical consciousness, but also MAO. The only reason I'm spelling that bastard's name out is because YouTube likes to delete my comments when I mention his name, telling me I'm correct. And others that replied to me said, hey, the only reason I know you commented about it, you might be onto something. My email notifications told me, but I saw it got deleted. I believe you're onto something, Savage, or Derpy Redneck, as my profile when I commented as. And that's why I'm spelling his name out. I don't want to, mess up this channel. So I'm only going to spell out certain names if need be. That's not in the algorithm yet. certain code phrases for hinting at them was not in the algorithm. I hope it doesn't for some time. And what was I gonna say? It's just it's coming to a point. This shit's gonna come to a head, and we're gonna have to put up a fight eventually of some type. It's what's gonna happen. It is gonna happen, and that part of that fight is making a parallel infrastructure and a parallel economy of all this. Now they might try to screw you over, but you know what? You're gonna have to keep pushing. You're gonna have to dodge them. Informational warfare is what this is. And they're also going to they're trying to mentally weaken you so you'll go vote and create another countercultural shift, like the Fabian Society's permeation theory of politics actually does work with elements of Leninism added in, specific ones. That's another incentive they got to push all this propagandism. That's why they're literally doing a Taylor Swift psyop. I wish I was lying. Like they're already full-blown damage control gaslight mode for this already. So clowned. And the thing I want to end
was that all
is,
your closing thoughts?
Those are my closing thoughts about these topics. Sorry if it's a little long-winded, but I need to get it off my chest too. Because I want people to know what's really going on.
What was the last thing?
The last thing is I'm going to be uploading a video where I talk about AI and Mudahar's recent video. It's not going to be a long one, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to make a short video where I give an update of why I still sound like this. You know, but a lot of my subscribers don't. So I want them to know. And then essentially, I'm gonna also do a short vid on a recent conflict that has arisen between Professor Hans Hermann Hoppe and Professor Walter Block, whom I both adore the works thereof and appreciate deeply. But I'm gonna inject my own take about what happened, and I'm going to bluntly say what I think, but I'm not going to support certain things, what has been done in the article. Some of the things in the article actually pissed me off, and I'm going to talk about them. Libertarianism, folks, there is no circle jerk in libertarianism. I will tell you that now. This kind of infighting is very common, but that tells you something is in the right direction when you have a lot of infighting amongst your own circles. That's a good thing. Too much of it's a bad thing, but a lot of it, but still.
Okay. I don't really have any more final thoughts. So that's going to be the end of episode 11 of the Monkey's Paw. We'll be back at it the week after next with some more topics. I still have to pick the 3. I think I do want to do the reports for the stocks for the big 2 in comics for sure. But as far as the other topics, you'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But this has been Monkey's Paw episode 11. I'm your gracious host, Kaine Walker, signing off, and I will see you again next time.
And this was Westrip Po Boy signing out. Are we off here?